Hey guys, so today I just want to make a quick little video here telling you why I don't like the HTC One. Now, don't get me wrong, for some people the HTC One, or for many people, it's probably the one that they will go with. For me, it probably won't be, and that's because I prioritize one thing. For me, there's one thing that's more important than other things, and the thing that's more important for me, or the thing that's very, very important for me, is the ergonomics of a phone. So I do have some other phones here from HTC, and I thought we can quickly go over them. So first we do have the HTC One X from last year, and this phone was a phone that was interesting. It did come out the same year as the Galaxy S3 competitor that did kind of fail. Why did it fail? Well, you can make a whole other video about that, but the horrible thing for me personally about this phone, and something that's extremely important for me, is that the phone has good ergonomics. Buttons should be placed at a place where they should be. So the ergonomics is pretty poor on this phone. Now, first of all, it does have this 4.7-inch display, but the whole phone feels bigger because in some weird way HTC did decide to make a design where it points like this. So when you hold it, it actually feels bigger than a phone like the Samsung Galaxy S3. And then also they made a pretty weird decision here with the buttons. They did have pretty good buttons here on the side that sticks out a little bit. But they made a horrible decision on the button at the top, which is placed on the other side. So when you hold the phone like this, it's pretty hard to reach here because, as you can see, it is put on the front side, so you have to kind of bend your hand here just to click on the power on button. And the thing is that the phone is already pretty big, so why did they place the power on button at the top and also at the wrong side? Things like that really do matters for me, because if I'm going to use a phone a lot, I need good ergonomics. Then we have another phone here from HTC. It was the Sensation XL that they did unveil last year, and it did actually have some pretty nice buttons here on the side. They point out a little bit more here, pretty good feeling here when you click on them. And then also it had a little bit better design here, still a little bit could have been a little bit more slimmed here on the side, but still way better than the HTC One X. And then also at the top here they do have the power on button, which is better this time than earlier, but it still is a little bit hard to find here. I mean, not hard to find, but it should probably stick out a little bit more here, and maybe be a little bit bigger. So I definitely do believe that they should have made it so it sticks out a little bit more here. So this one, this design was actually pretty decent, but it still feels pretty bulky compared to a phone like the Samsung Galaxy S3. And you can tell me if you have different opinions in the comment section down below. Maybe you prioritize other things. For me, one of the top priorities is really that the buttons and the design itself feel really good. And you can see this has a little bit more of a rounded off side here as well. It's not a flat design here on the side, which I also find a little bit annoying here. And then also we do have now the HTC One. Now the thing is that they kind of went back to the HTC One X design here, where they still have this kind of design here that points a little bit like this. So it actually feels, I'm not sure why do they make a design like this? Why don't they make it like this? Because you will have your hand here, so why didn't they make it rounded off here? They kind of make the design like this. I don't get it. And then also the buttons. Now this time they've actually moved over to again to the volume keys. They doesn't even stick out, so it's a little bit hard here to find because they have another texture here, but they're still pretty hard to find because it doesn't stick out too much. Which I found pretty weird, because they did actually stick out here on the HTC One X and also on the Sensation XL, and that was very nice there. And then also at the top here, they moved it to the other side, and then also they still have this design here that could have been way better if they, because now also it has this weird design like this, when it should be kind of like this, because you will have your hand up here, and it's also a little bit hard to reach. Or I mean, sure, you can get used to it, but they could have made a simple little clever design change there. I definitely do believe that one of the best designs is the one that you can get on the iPhone and also on the Samsung Galaxy phone, like the Galaxy S3 and the Galaxy S4. Because first of all, yes, Apple also has the power on button at the top, but remember, this is a small phone, so it doesn't feel weird at all to have the power on button at the top. It's perfectly fine. And also that the button sticks out, it's on a completely flat surface around the whole phone. Makes it feel completely natural, and the buttons, also volume up and down keys, they also stick out, so it feels extremely good here, and that's something that I do value a ton. So they can actually have the power button at the top, and it doesn't feel weird at all. Then we also do have, let's say, my Samsung Galaxy S3 here, that they have the power button here at the side, which makes it so natural to just easily find the button. I don't have to stretch, because this phone doesn't have any buttons at the top, which is extremely clever on a 4.8-inch smartphone. And also that they have kind of like a slim down design, like this. The design goes like this, so it is like it should be, to put it pretty easy. So easier here to reach. The button also feels like it sticks out a little bit more, and also volume key is extremely easy to reach also, so extremely natural to hold this phone. And then we do have the new Samsung Galaxy S4, which has an even more clever design, where they kind of copy the Asus Padfone 2 and Apple's iPhone design, where they do have even more of a flat surface on the sides, which makes it even easier to find the buttons. And they don't have any weird shapes like this shape that you do get on the HTC One. They don't have any weird buttons at the top on a large smartphone. They do understand that people don't want to stretch when they want to find the power on button. And I just think it's genius. It's extremely clever, and this is probably one of the reasons, or the main reason, why still we go with Samsung, because it should be natural. This phone is bigger. It's way bigger, or I mean, I'm not sure if I should say way bigger, but it is bigger than the HTC One. It's a 5-inch display, so you get also a big display, but the phone still feels more slim because they made clever design, where it's easy to reach the buttons without having to do any super weird movements. And also, what I want to tell you about the HTC One here is that usually I like to listen to music. So usually when I listen to music on this device, I did try to listen to the music, and usually when I listen to music, I like to change volume up and down a lot. So it's kind of hard it doesn't feel natural with the design like this to do this, because if I hold the device like this, my thumb here has to be a little bit on the side here, because it's not a straight side. It's kind of like a weird side. I'm not sure why would you do a design like this. Why not just make it flat or point like this, because that's how you will hold it. And now it may have a little bit more of a cool design look. I'm really not sure. I actually did think that they made a big design mistake there, and also one of the reasons why HTC, why they went with the power on button at the top, is because they do want to copy Samsung's move copy, I'm not sure which one was first, but they do have an IR port here inside, so you can actually control your TV with the HTC One. Now, how Samsung did solve that was that they just made a thing up here, so it does have an IR port up there. So you can actually control your Samsung Smart TVs or other TVs, both with the HTC One and the Samsung Galaxy S4. So please, I want to hear your opinions. Also, one thing here that I do like more with the design here of the Samsung Galaxy S4 is that you do have a hardware button at the front, so I can actually put on the display on the front side, and that really matters to me. That it should be easy, it should be simple. If I want to put on the display here on the HTC One, I have to go up here at the top, and if I have the phone on the table, I have to use my whole hand to put it on. Because if I try to do it with one hand, the phone will move around. So can you please tell me if you think this is important? Maybe you don't think so, I'm not really sure. For me though, ergonomics is really important, and that's the thing that I go over with a lot of people when I find them, when they are wondering, oh, should I buy the HTC One, oh, should I buy the S4? And then I really do show them what I really don't like about the HTC One, that I let them have the phone in their hand, and then I will show you how awkward it is to reach these buttons. For me, it's a big thing. Maybe not for you. But tell me that in the comment section down below. And hopefully, until next time, just have an awesome day. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Yeah, peace.